Burt's bowel movement, you think? Damn it. Chris Curtis, the MMA fighter who's supposed to beat the shit out of John, the guy that needs some attitude adjustment, crashed a motorcycle today. Best case scenario, it's a bad sprain, which means he's out for 6 weeks. Which doesn't, I mean, that would be like right at the time he's supposed to fight John. That's best case scenario. But if there's any tear or pull or bone or anything, the fight's off, dude. Damn it. I mean, I'm glad he's okay. He didn't die, none of that stuff, obviously. But I would love to see him healthy for the fight on New Year's Eve. I think I started the timer wrong, so it's not going to run out with the music, by the way.
Think what you think about when you're born into a fire. Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They want to let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow, guys. Thanksgiving doesn't, without my mom and dad around, I don't know. Thanksgiving just doesn't feel like Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I think all we're doing is going to, my sister invited us over, but the times conflict with Mariah's family's Thanksgiving. So we'll probably go there and I'll probably hide. The timer wasn't too bad off, was it? Snuck up on me. All right, let's go.
Hey Daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Burt. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Oh, welcome everybody. I am Will Burt, and this is the Cold Beer Confessional. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here. What's up, guys? Trying to make sure all the websites are up. Jay Bird was the last donation. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. I appreciate it. How's everybody doing? Welcome. We're on Thanksgiving Eve. Chris Curtis, if you didn't hear me, the MMA fighter who was going to fight John, the very mouthy TikTok star who was demolished by Sam Alvey in the ring. Chris Curtis was going to fight him. He's an active MMA fighter. Team member with Sean Strickland. He had an accident. Let's actually look at that. Let's do this. Doesn't look like this fight is probably not going to happen. It was supposed to be on December 31st. It's supposed to be on New Year's Eve. It does not look like it's going to happen now.
Yeah, it could have been better. Could have been worse. Yeah, chocolate muffin. There you go. So I finally had a bike
He's in a leg brace.
accident. It finally happened. And hilariously, I wasn't even doing anything crazy. I was literally just turning out of a parking lot and my back tires, I guess, hit gravel and fishtailed. And yeah, laid down. Grateful that Lauren and Bear are okay. No injuries. Lauren has a scratch on her leg. That's it. Bear's totally fine. But I may not be so lucky. It's still too swollen to get an MRI. So we got to wait a few days until next week to get it scanned. I mean, it's probably some ligament damage, we're pretty sure. So we're going to wait and see. But it is what it is, man. Could have been worse.
That sucks, dude.
So, you know what?
Yeah, he would still beat John for sure.
Fair trade.
So I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad his family's okay. I'm glad all that. But damn.
All right, guys. So one of the worst types of people you'll run into in this sport are the weirdos who create their own fighting style or fighting system. And I swear to God, I run into so many of these people, and I've never not hated any of them. Like, anyone who's made a fighting system beyond
That's fucked up.
2005 and past is just a freaking weirdo, man. And like, these dudes are really out here like trying to relive their childhood Bruce Lee fantasies, and every single one of these dudes is just absolutely
it sucks, dude. It sucks so much.
On top of that, there's the guys that make their own fighting system, and then the guys that practice some obscure, ancient, traditional style martial art.
I think it's he talks about this too, but I think it's really weird the fighters who act like they're like some different level of enlightenment, right? Because they practice this martial arts. Like they meditate underneath a waterfall at sunrise, like the Kung Fu Panda or some shit. Like, just be a fighter. Just be a prize fighter. Go make money.
God, these people are everywhere. Like it's. Have you guys run into this? Because these are always the people that have something to say, and like they're practicing.
It sucks, but the fight with John is probably odd. John has lost 2 accounts now, by the way. Multiple accounts. I think he's on his 3rd or 4th account now. He's hard to even keep up with. He keeps disappearing so often, but that's where we're at with the fight. And I was super looking forward to it. So much. That's all I had going for me. That's the only thing I had left in my life, and they took that away from me. So that's where we're at. Let's see. What do we got to start off with? Trump's new pardon. Trump's pardoning a new guy that he obviously knows nothing about. Trump doesn't know anything about these people, their crimes, they committed, whatever. What happens is you just pay $1 million to a lobbyist. That lobbyist talks to somebody that talks to Trump, and they say, hey, this is a good guy. Biden came after him. He didn't do anything wrong. It was a witch hunt. He loves Trump. He's donating $1 million, or he's donating so much money to the campaign, and then you get your pardon. It is literally pay for pardon. Trump knows nothing about it. When he's questioned about it, I don't know what a crime he committed. I just heard the Biden went after him, and it was a witch hunt and blah, 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 and you get your pardon. Well, here's the new one coming up. Now, the person that's going to tell us about this pardon is very well versed in pardons, okay? She used to be the pardon attorney for the president.
Hey everybody, Donald Trump's latest pardon is going to blow your mind. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. This is Joseph Schwartz. He owned
I'm sure the Christian nationalists are going to love this guy.
a nursing home empire called Skyline with facilities in 11 states. Schwartz stole $38 million from the paychecks of his employees, money that was supposed to cover their health care and retirement benefits. Schwartz pleaded guilty to tax fraud, and in April of this year, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison. But last week, Donald Trump granted him a full pardon after he served just 3 months of his sentence. This is a strange pardon even for Trump.
Listen to this.
In April, Trump's hand-picked U.S. Attorney, Alina Habba, issued a press release publicly thanking all of the agents and investigators who helped put Schwartz in prison.
Just back in April, Alina Habba, Trump's hand-picked U.S. attorney, put out a press release thanking everyone that brought this guy to justice. Thanking everyone that it says this. A New York man was sentenced to 36 months in prison for his role in a $38 million employment tax fraud scheme involving nursing homes he owned across the country, U.S. Attorney Alina Habba announced. Joseph Schwartz, 65, of Suffern, New York, previously pled guilty to 2 counts of an indictment charging him with willfully failing to pay over employment taxes withheld from employees of his company. So he was withholding payroll taxes and was not paying them to the government. So the people paid them out of their paychecks, right? It's a percentage you pay. He did not pay that over to the government. And willfully failing to file an annual report, Form 5500, with the Department of Labor for the employee 401k benefit plan Schwartz sponsored before U.S. District Judge Susan D. Wingington in Newark Federal Court. Again, he's held their payroll taxes and held their 401k contributions. He pled guilty. This wasn't like they got him on a technicality. He pled guilty. According to documents filed in this case and statements made in court, Schwartz, an insurance broker and operator of Skyline Management Group, LLC, known as Skyline, with headquarters in New Jersey, willfully failed to pay employment taxes relating to numerous healthcare and rehabilitation facilities that Skyline operated in 11 different states. So employees across 11 states, he owned a bunch of these retirement homes. They didn't pay they didn't pay any taxes, right? Because they paid them to him. He never sent them to the government, and their 401k vanished. According to the indictment, Schwartz was required to collect, truthfully account for, and pay over to the IRS trust fund taxes withheld from the pay of his employees at Skyline and related companies. From October 2017 through May 2018, Schwartz caused taxes to be withheld from employees' pay, but failed to then pay over more than $38 million in employment taxes to the IRS. So he took $38 million from his employees' checks and said it was for taxes. Then he pocketed that money. As an administrator of the Skyline 401k plan, Schwartz further had an obligation to file an annual Form 5500 financial report with the Secretary of Labor for calendar year 2018, but knowingly and willfully failed to file the report. U.S. Attorney Abba credited special government agents of the IRS criminal investigation under the direction of Special Agent in Charge Jennifer Piovison in Newark, investigators of the Department of Labor, Employee Benefits, Security Administration, under the direction of Regional Director Mark Seidel in the New York Regional Office, special agents of the FBI under the direction of Acting Special Agent in Charge Terrence G. Riley, and the Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Inspector General, under the direction of Special Agent in Charge Naomi Grukachaz in the New York Regional Office, with the investigation that led to the sentencing in this case. So there she is, thanking everybody involved in this case. The government is represented by Assistant U.S. Attorneys Daniel H. Rosenblum and Kendall R. Randolph of the Criminal Division in Newark, and trial attorney Sean Nude of the Justice Department's Tax Division. The defense counsel was Kevin H. Marino. So someone Trump liked, someone Trump appointed, was thanking agents for doing this, but he just happens to drop $1 million to two very, very, very shady lobbyists, and suddenly his 3 years in prison, after 3 months, it's gone. He's innocent. He's pardoned. Well, he's not innocent. He's pardoned.
Full pardon after he served just 3 months of his sentence. This is a strange pardon even for Trump, because back in April, Trump's hand-picked U.S. Attorney, Alina Habba, issued a press release publicly thanking all of the agents and investigators who helped put Schwartz in prison. So why did Schwartz get a pardon? Trump hasn't told us, but here's what we know. Earlier this year, Schwartz paid two lobbyists $960,000 to seek a pardon for him. We know that because the lobbyists filed this disclosure form, which is required by law. So who are these lobbyists? Their names are Jack Berkman and Jacob Wohl.
You recognize these guys? Chat, do you recognize them? They're convicted felons, sure. But I know you've seen them before. They are crazy right-wing conspiracists who make up all these insane fucking sexual allegations and fake text messages, and they came up with the one that what's her name married her cousin, her brother or whatever, the representative. That's these guys. Okay? They go on press tours all over the world with these crazy right-wing conspiracies. And they are always screaming some sexual impropriety or government malfeasance or employee that did this and that. And they just fake evidence and claim it. Ilhan Omar. They're the ones that did the press conference in Michigan about Ilhan Omar and said that they had all the information that she married her brother and did this and did that and blah, 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 or whatever. But none of it ever pans out. There's never, I mean, all they do is make the claims. They spread like crazy on social media. Sometimes they even fake evidence. But what ends up happening is there's actually no proof. When it comes down to it, there's literally no proof whatsoever. So that's these two guys, Jacob Wall and Jack Bergman. And Wall is spelled W-O-H-L, and Jack Bergman. They're pretty famous in right-wing circles.
We know that because the lobbyists filed this disclosure form, which is required by law. So who are these lobbyists? Their names are Jack Bergman and Jacob Wall. They are far-right conspiracy theorists and convicted felons. They're known for elaborate scams, including several failed attempts to frame public figures for phony sexual assaults.
Jacob Wall has also claimed like Kamala Harris is not a U.S. citizen. They tried to come up with when they were trying to confirm Special Counsel Mueller when Mueller was doing his investigation. They found some lady named Carolyn Cass out in Los Angeles that claimed that she was sexually assaulted by him. They just come up with the craziest shit. He actually paid her on Craigslist as an actress to come out and say that Special Counsel Mueller, Robert Mueller, had sexually assaulted her. Like they just make up shit and they go viral about it.
During the 2020 presidential election, Berkman and Wall ran a voter intimidation campaign targeting black communities. They made tens of thousands of robocalls spreading disinformation intended to scare people out of voting. They were convicted of felony election fraud charges in Michigan and Ohio.
Michigan and Ohio convicted of felonies, claiming they basically like try to scare people from voting.
We're here in D.C. and
I think this is him. Here we go.
Documentary on you, as you obviously know,
right.
and Ali are involved, and now you're banned from Twitter. How do you respond to Twitter's permanent ban?
Well, this is now a pattern. When people look into Ilhan Omar, when people threaten to the facts about her past, they ban those people. And it's not lost on me that on the same day that I announce our press conference, which is going to be on Thursday at 3 p.m. at the Gaylord for CPAC, and we're going to be releasing findings on Ilhan Omar. We proved beyond any reasonable doubt that she married her brother as part of an immigration and student loan fraud scheme. So when people dig into Ilhan Omar, they get banned from Twitter because CARE lobbies Twitter to do so. This is a long-going pattern. CARE has a lot of money, a lot of resources, and a lot of brand invested in Ilhan Omar, and that investment is about to go up in smoke. And so, of course, they banned me. Now, I was expecting this. One thing I'm very, very glad about I'm glad about two things. Number one, this could not have happened at a better time. Jacob Wohl is #1 trending on Twitter right now, and I'm promoting a press conference, and now people are going to go to that press conference, and it's going to be even bigger and better than we even thought. I mean, it's going to be brimming over with people. So I'm glad it happened now. I think that's perfect. The other thing that I'm glad about...
The thing that they got in trouble for and convicted was robocalls. So they set up a robocall network that literally called people and tried to discourage them from voting. They would claim that voting by mail would make your personal information in a public database that would be used by police departments to track down individuals with warrants. That voting by mail placed voters' personal information in public database be used by credit card companies to collect outstanding debts. And the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention were attempting to utilize vote-by-mail records to track individuals for mandatory vaccines, whether you wanted them or not. So they, one count of election law, bribing, intimidating voters. One count of conspiracy to commit an election law violation. One count of using a computer to commit the crime of election law, intimidating voters. And using a computer to commit the crime of conspiracy. They were both accused or both convicted of that. They were previously found liable for violating state civil rights laws and the federal Ku Klux Klan Act of 2023 by U.S. district judges. Like, they're horrible, shitty fucking people. He doesn't actually look like this. He's got more of a white nationalist haircut now, but this is what he used to look like. He looks more like this now. See him over here just behind the chat. And that's Jack Bergman beside him.
Is luckily, because I was expecting this, I have set up myself to make a living in a way that doesn't require Twitter, because that would be very frustrating.
He was actually banned not for anything to do with Ilhan Omar. He was banned for making a bunch of fake accounts. and using those to boost his own numbers and attack other people and shit like that.
And I want to be, as Nassim Taleb would call it, anti-fragile. So this isn't going to affect my living as it has with some other folks, but the pattern is clear. Laura Loomer investigates Ilhan Omar, banned. Jacob Engels investigates and tweets about Ilhan Omar, banned. Jacob Bull finally gets the goods and puts on a press conference, banned. But I can promise you one thing. Ilhan Omar is going to be rocked by what we're going to release on Thursday. The halls of Congress are going to be rocked by what we're going to release on Thursday. And it will be #1 trending on Twitter. So Twitter can say whatever they want. They can claim that I opened fake accounts, but here's the reality. Over the course of my adult life, I've had 4 accounts on Twitter in total. #1, at Jacob A. Will, my verified account. #2, at Surefire Intel, my business's account. #3 was an account that I had reserved for a think tank that I'm starting that's receiving tremendous interest, tremendous funding, thanks to our success with this operation. And the last one was an account that I started and then didn't use, but just put a few tweets out months and months ago called Women for Schultz, just to test what the reception was like among women for Howard Schultz, who's running for president. I guess you're not allowed to make an account that expresses Howard Schultz's positions on women's issues, perhaps, but that would be the only thing.
He even says, like, I made up all these accounts.
That would even resemble a quote-unquote fake account, because I guess I'm not a woman, so I can't talk about women's issues.
And so Jacob, the allegation is actually that you actually.
Anyways, these are the pieces of shit they hired. You know who else hired these people? So they run a company, a lobbying company, and it's called J.M. Berkman and Associates, and it's just Berkman and Jacob Wall, Jack Berkman and Jacob Wall, and then the people that do the paperwork and shit, like secretaries or whatever. It's just them two. But they've got the ear of somebody close to the president. You pay them enough money, you get them a pardon. So much so that you guys know who. You guys know who Boozy Badass is? Wipe Me Down. That song that was pretty famous, whatever. He took a plea deal recently in a gun charge, and he's hired them to get a pardon from Trump.
Intimidation campaign targeting Black communities. They made tens of thousands of robocalls spreading disinformation intended to scare people out of voting. They were convicted of felony election fraud charges in Michigan and Ohio. They were also fined over $6 million by federal and state authorities. But now, things are looking up for these two con artists. Trump's pardon of Joseph Schwartz has put nearly $1 million into their pockets. Is this a quid pro quo for their efforts to help Trump win the 2020 election? I don't know. But what I do know is that we now have convicted fraudsters lobbying for pardons on behalf of other convicted fraudsters, and it seems to be working. This incredible corruption of the pardon power is flying under the radar. You can help raise awareness by sharing this post and by asking your elected reps to demand accountability for presidential pardons.
The best rapper on the planet? Is that what you think? Yeah, I suppose so. Anyways, he hired them to try to get a pardon. This is Trump's pardon. The super, like, look at this guy's picture. How do you think the Christian nationalists are going to react to this?
It's going to blow your mind. I'm Liz Oyer, the former pardon attorney for the Department of Justice. This is Joseph Schwartz.
You think the right-wing Christian nationalists are going to be like, oh, you mean that white Protestant that Trump pardoned? If you pay enough money to the right people, boom, you're done. That's how you get it. You just buy it. He was arrested in 2023. He had 2 firearms in his vehicle he was in. The federal charge was filed after the state charges were dismissed due to a court ruling on prohibiting convicted felons from owning guns. He faced up to 15 years but pled guilty to a single count to receive a lesser sentence, the prosecution agreeing to recommend a 2-year prison term. So basically, he was charged in California. Boozy was. He was charged in California, but at the time, there was a California court ruling pending that maybe we shouldn't have this law that felons can't own guns, right? So the state kind of left it in limbo, but then the federal agents came in and decided to prosecute for it because it's also a federal crime, right? A felon can't own a firearm there. So federally, he was prosecuted for both counts of the firearm. And he took a plea deal to lessen it, and now he is tweeting out like crazy. Hold on, I'll read you his tweets. He tweeted out, just accepted a plea deal from the federal government on my gun case. I thought this case was over and I was going to get on with my life, but God don't make mistakes, and I'm tired of fighting. Then he tweeted out, Trump, checking my case out. My case was dismissed, but Biden's DOJ recharged me with the same gun charge. Biden pardons his son of, I was told I am the only person in the country facing that charge now. The post continued, I never was offered rehab, straight to prison. And Trump, I'm boozy. I'm a rapper and filmmaker from Baton Rouge. I was targeted. My mouth and things I stand on get me in a lot of shit, but I'm real. And after he tweeted that out, he hired I'm sure they probably contacted him. I wouldn't know how to get in touch with a lobbyist. I guess if you pay the right people the right money, they tell you who to, but they probably targeted him because they know he's got fucking money. He's trying to get a hold of Trump, and that's what they do. That's what they do. Trump does pardons for money. He literally paid $1 million to this lobbying firm, and suddenly they got a pardon. And the guy's clearly a piece of shit, dude. He fucked over his employees in 11 states and then pled guilty to it. He didn't have a defense. He didn't have an excuse. It wasn't a technicality. He's like, yeah, I did it. Pardons. Shit's fucking insane, dude. Shit's fucking insane. Let's see. Trump's team is basically working around him at this point. There's been a second leaked call through I think one of our NATO partners probably intercepted these calls and leaked them, and I think there's going to be more. There's been 2 leaked now.
It's been confirmed that Trump's own team is working around him, purposely trying to keep him out of the loop.
We'll get to Big Bad Burt. You just wait.
New article that just came out from Bloomberg that states that a leaked conversation from October 14th from a phone call between Steve Witkoff, the U.S. envoy, and a top Russian aide, they were talking about how, well, Steve Witkoff could pressure Ukraine into accepting some kind of peace deal that would favor Moscow, and that he would...
But why would Trump be interested in taking this peace deal? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you why Trump... First of all, they flattered him. They complimented him. They said, you're a man of peace. You're awesome. You're peace deal. You're peace deal. You're peace deal. You're peace. You've stopped 8 wars, 8 wars, 8 wars. You want to stop 9. You're such a good guy. We love it. Everything. Second of all, they gave him a lifetime appointments.
Even be able to pressure Donald Trump into accepting a said deal. Now, this is October 18th. This is prior to that 28-point plan coming out, which means that Steve Witkoff was actively trying to pressure not only Ukraine to move forward with this, but also Donald Trump. With Witkoff going on to say...
Now, Donald Trump's defending this guy. I guess because the alternative is like he's been hoodwinked. But he's defending this guy saying, oh, that's what deal makers have to do. He's probably doing the same thing with Ukraine. He's not, and that's not what deal makers do.
According to Bloomberg, quote...
Not if they're working for the United States. If they're a Russian agent coaching other Russians, like this is how you get a Trump, that's one thing. He's supposed to be working for the United States, not Russia.
Exactly what it's going to take to get the deal done, including giving territories to Russia, and then claim that Trump would give him space and discretion to make it happen. To make matters even worse, this phone call happened the day before Zelensky was going to Washington, D.C. to get Tomahawk missiles, and now we know why that meeting fell apart. Fast forward to October 29th, and yet another leaked call shows how Russia's Maximus demands and the framework are working into it, meaning that Russia was explaining to Witkoff how they could push Russia's maximum demands to Donald Trump and Zelensky. And the article says that it was both of their goals, not including Trump, both of their goals to get the final plan, quote, as close as possible to Russia's own version. Clearly,
their goal is to get the plan as close as possible to Russia's wish list.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff had been happening without Donald Trump knowing, which only
I don't think Donald Trump knows anything about anything. I think people come and brief him. He uses his live-in nurse to fucking tweet for him. I don't think he knows anything that's going on. Like, it's so crazy. We keep seeing these accusations are actually confessions. And everything they said about Joe Biden is literally Donald Trump.
Confirms that, yes, Trump only knew about the 28-point deal the moment before it was leaked out to the public.
Trump may have not even known. It seems like now Trump didn't know about the 28-point plan until basically we knew about it.
The grand question is, Who leaked it?
Or maybe just before.
Donald Trump is even controlling the things in the White House, or he's just telling people he trusts, you guys do what you got to do and just come back to me whenever it's done.
Now, why would he take that deal? Oh, you know. Here we go. Let's look here and see why he might take that deal.
So this Wickoff story just keeps getting better. Now, Bloomberg has published a second leaked phone call, this time between Ushakov, who was talking to Wickoff the first time, and Kirill Dmitriev, the Russian foreign minister, basically, who's been meeting with people in the United States, Jared Kushner. He's been meeting with Wickoff also, and Anna Paulina Luna, who seems to post about nothing but Russian propaganda these days as a congresswoman from Florida. Don't know why that matters to people in her district. In any event, in this second leaked phone call, these two Russians admit that Wickoff, Trump, they'll accept whatever plan they want. They'll do anything. You know why? Because item 27 in that 28-point peace plan appointed Trump as to a lifetime position to oversee the reconstruction of Ukraine.
Yes. Same thing with the Gaza peace plan he pushed through. This agreement will be legally binding. Its implementation will be monitored and guaranteed by the Peace Council, headed by Donald J. Trump. Not headed by a board of members appointed by the United States government or the current U.S. president. It is headed by Donald Trump. So if reconstruction and this whatever takes 20 years, Donald Trump has an appointment until the Peace Council is shut down. He's appointing himself to head all this.
Using hundreds of billions of dollars of frozen Russian assets, of which the United States was going to take half back and reinvest with Russia.
If Donald Trump is the sole head of this peace council that's doing the reconstruction in Gaza and the reconstruction in Ukraine and Russia, how many contracts do you think that will be underneath that to rebuild what was destroyed? And how many of those contracts will go out to people that Trump knows? Or companies that Trump owns or his family owns?
So he got to have a lifetime grift. He loved the plan. And what this tells you is there's probably a lot more of these leaks that are going to come out, because a foreign intelligence service, probably someone in NATO, God bless him for doing this great work, would be
yeah, he's fucking all over the place. What the fuck was the mineral? He's just all over the place with it.
Hack two Russians. Hacking Americans in our government after the Pete Hegseth Signalgate situation, not really super hard, but hacking two Russians, they're not quite as sloppy as our government is right now. So good work. I hope to see more. To be continued.
Damn it. Hold on just a second. Let's do this.
The FBI is now investigating 6 members of Congress for reading the law out.
Sorry. I think our boy Scott talks about this. Hold on. That's his name, right? Not Pressler. What is his name? Hold on. Let me find the guy. Give me just a second to find a video. It'll take a minute. Activity Center. Did you guys see the shit that came out? I don't know if any of you guys watch The Secret Life of Mormon Housewives or whatever it's called. But there's been some wild drama shit coming out of it. It's nothing political or even really that important. It's crazy, crazy, crazy drama and rumors and just wild stuff going on with the Mormons. They're not allowed to drink a cup of coffee, but for some reason over here drinking piss. What the fuck is going on with the Mormons, dude? I apparently two friends are now ex-friends, and one of them accused a different one of having like sexual assaults, which doesn't seem to be true, including that the entire encounter was on film. So it didn't even happen, more than just like people saying it's not true. Like they've got it all filmed and nothing happened. But that made two friends fall out, and they're dishing all the secrets about each other now that they're no longer friends. It's wild. It is wild to see. Damn it, who am I looking for? What's the guy's name? If I can't find him in a second, I'll grab a different video, but you guys can watch while I'm looking for him. The guy that does we watch all of his, a lot of his stuff on military and military movements, Russia, drone footage. He does all that stuff. What is that guy's name? I wanted to say it was Scott. I said Presley, but Scott Presley is a different guy. I can't remember the guy's name. I know I just watched one of his videos. That's okay. I'll play a different video while we're doing something else, but still. That was here's a skit you guys can watch while I'm looking. Preston Stewart. I guess the Preston, you're right. It's Preston Stewart. Atsuko just screams out random shit. No one knows what the fuck she's ever talking about. That's what, it must be something to do with her VPN settings so she can access us from communist China. Like, I don't fucking know. But it's weird, right? Like sometimes it's not even words. I don't know how to respond to that.
All right, so here we've got a drone helicopter. And I know this is something that we're
that's bad as fuck.
To see take off around the world. So it's the HT-750 in Navia, part of the Edge Group's display here at the...
Dude, it looks like a toy. It looks like that front comes off. That's the battery.
Air show in Dubai.
Plug it in, charge it, USB-C.
Flight time. So this thing can be up for quite a while. But what's pretty interesting here is the modularity. So you see the closed cockpit. Now, a couple underneath, you can put things like, this is not designed for weapon systems. This is really more focused on logistics. So we've got things like closed cargo underneath, open cargo if needed, fit a little bit more. Inside here, LiDAR and recon assets.
This is not the video I was looking for, but that looks cool.
Stuff can be strapped onto the front of this. And then if you move over to a little bit of the side here, we see one of the containers that you can see how this can swap out right on top. And this is cool. We saw this at IDEX a few months ago. I thought it was cool then. I think it's cool now. So if you're trying to move a couple people, say, to the battlefield, right? Move a couple guys out to a certain location, easy transport. You can also
cool
swap this out for a litter.
So there's just days.
So you remember that 28-point peace plan between Russia and Ukraine that Secretary Rubio told a bunch of U.S. senators was actually the Russian list of demands? Like, this is the Russian take. We're just relaying that right now, so don't worry about it. But then people came out of the woodworks, like the press secretary, the vice president, multiple members of Congress, to say, no, this is ours. We wrote it, and it's a good plan, and Ukraine needs to take it. In fact, President Trump about an hour ago reiterated, we wrote this plan. And it's sketchy because
you think I was trying to go and watch Scott Baio, the American actor, for his take on the war in Ukraine? That's what you thought? That's what you're going with, Atsuko? That's your final answer? I'm about to ban you from life. I'm going to uninstall the breathing app, okay?
as like a lot of it is very sympathetic to Russian demands in a lot of ways. Like,
so you just randomly guessed an actor.
Ceding NATO responsibilities to Russia for some unknown reason. Well, a phone call was just leaked, and Bloomberg picked it up. It was a phone call between the Russian delegation, Yuri Yushkov and Kirill Dmitriev, where they're talking about how to pass along their plan, their proposal to Witkoff, because they think Witkoff will take that plan and keep it as close as possible.
Of course.
Changing it hard.
He's working for the Trump's defending him. He's literally working for the Russians.
at all and say this is the acceptable version. In fact, they said, quote, I don't think they'll take exactly our version of this, what ended up being the 28-point plan, but at least it will be as close as possible. That would explain why so much of that. You had words that were translated kind of funny, sounded like they were straight from Russian, not really terms used by the United States, and why certain aspects, like why in this plan were we voluntarily saying that NATO will never accept any new members? That's a weird thing for the United States to say. Actually, yeah, that's
yeah, it's a Russian wish list. Holy shit.
Something we should agree to in a peace.
NATO will not accept any new members in any way, shape, or form. Really? What if fucking Australia wants to join?
Between Russia and Ukraine. It makes a lot more sense if that was genuinely the Russian proposal that Ushakov and Dmitriev gave to Witkoff, believing that it would be passed along almost word for word as the viable option. And I don't know, it looks like that's probably what happened. So you remember that 28-point peace plan between Russia?
Everybody in chat say hi to Burt. He'll definitely be watching this. Burt, I found you, like I know you just moved to your new apartment. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I found you a very good apartment if you're looking for one. I don't know how long you're going to be in that one. Maybe you signed a lease. Maybe you did. I found you a great one.
So a call was just leaked between U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and his Russian counterpart, Yuri Ushakov, where Witkoff appears to be coaching the Russians on how to best present their plan to President Trump so that he accepts it, which... not great. You know, we want the U.S. Special Envoy advocating for U.S. interests, not advocating for Russian interests to the U.S. government, which
I believe
looks like what he's doing here, which is weird. This also in this transcript, which is published by Bloomberg, he tells Yushkov, like, hey, look, Zelensky's going to be here in a couple days. We got to make sure that Trump.
And that was when everybody was expecting and predicting that Ukraine was going to get Tomahawk missiles. And Trump even seemed on board with Tomahawk missiles. But then just right before Zelensky shows up for this announcement, they take a call with Putin, and suddenly the Tomahawk missiles are completely off the table. That's wild.
Talks with Putin before that happens. And that turned out to be the last
I doubt it.
In the White House between the Ukrainian and American delegation. They just went downhill, right? Leading up to that, we were thinking maybe Tomahawks for Ukraine. And then the meeting was just off the rails from the get-go. That might explain it. There was a phone call organized by Witkoff between Putin and Trump just before that kicked off. Now, it's not clear who leaked this phone call. We're talking about Russian diplomats, so certainly their phone calls are being monitored by any number of intelligence agencies, U.S., UK, probably all of NATO, and more. Witkoff would know that. Should know that any phone calls he's having with his Russian counterparts are probably being monitored. But either way, it just came out. Imagine we're going to hear more on this. Again, we want the U.S. envoy advocating for U.S. interests, or at the very least,
of course we do,
an entirely neutral role. We do not want them advocating for, in this case, Russia, trying to make sure that Russia's point gets across to President Trump. So a call was just leaked. So if you're wondering when the United States is going to begin military operations against Venezuela, a senior U.S. official...
It's just insane. We went from it's Zelensky's fault, you did this, you don't have the cards, to mineral deal, to no mineral deal, to security deal, to no security deal, to now we're just pushing Russia's playlist or wish list. And now here's Trump defending Witkoff, of course.
Have you heard this audio that Bloomberg has of Witkoff coaching the Russians on how to appeal to you?
Well, I haven't heard it, no, but that's a standard thing, because he's got to sell this to Ukraine. He's got to sell Ukraine to Russia. That's what a deal.
That's a standard deal tactic. When the guy that works for me goes to the other guy and tells them how to manipulate me and get me to agree, that's a standard deal tactic, okay?
But that's a standard thing, because he's got to sell this to Ukraine. He's got to sell Ukraine to Russia. That's what a deal maker does. You got to say, look, they want this. You got to convince them with this. That's a very standard form of negotiation. I haven't heard it, but I heard it was standard negotiation. And I would imagine he's saying the same thing to Ukraine, because each party has to give and take.
So you're not worried that...
But there's no give. Russia's just taking everything. The one thing that you could say was a concession of Russia was them acknowledging that Ukraine is a country that deserves to exist. They've already done that and then violated it, right?
He's too pro-Russian.
No, I think, look, this war could go on for years.
What do you say to people who thinks he's too pro-Russian?
This war could go on for years, and Russia's got a lot more people, got a lot more soldiers, you know. So I think if Ukraine can make a deal, it's a good thing. I think it's great for both. Frankly, I think it's great for both. But Ukraine's got it's much smaller. It's a much smaller group of people. They've lost a lot of people. Russia's lost a lot of people, but Russia has a much bigger pool of people.
There you go. Keep defending him, right? All this while at home, 22 states plus D.C. are in or near a recession currently. This was Moody's did a report on this. In 22 states, almost half of America are in or near a recession when you break them individually down by states. And I think that represented, hold on. I think it represented like over 60% of the GDP. Hold on, let me see. 1/3 of America's GDP are currently in or at high risk of entering a recession. Oregon, Washington, Nevada, California, Montana, Wyoming, South Dakota, Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, Kansas, Colorado, New Mexico, Alaska, Hawaii, Missouri, Arkansas, Illinois, Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia, Virginia, West Virginia, Ohio, New York State, Vermont. Like, it's not good for sure. It's definitely not good. The numbers are bad. I think Newsgirl did a thing on it. Hold on. And even Fox News polls are showing, like, overwhelmingly people are not happy with how Trump is handling the economy. A Fox News poll came out with that. This one.
We are doing better than we've ever done as a country. Prices are coming down and all of that stuff. And now we have
the things he says just don't match reality.
Normal inflation. We're going to get it a little bit lower.
What's up, Ramesh?
We have normal. We've normalized it. You are so damn lucky that I won that election. I'm telling you.
So you can feel however you want about the election part of that comment, but
I think that's him talking at McDonald's.
Fact is, according to Trump's own administration, 2 reports released today are showing a completely different reality than the one the president keeps talking about. And another report also released today shows you aren't buying what Trump is selling about this economy either. Now, before I tell you about these reports, you should know that 2 of them are very late. Because of the government shutdown, we are now just getting the data from the Trump administration for the month of September. But one of the reports I'm going to share with you in this video is very current, and it shows that things have probably gotten economically worse for you since September. So first, let's talk about the government reports. You just heard Trump say that he has normalized inflation. What he means is that he has brought inflation back down.
A majority of Americans disapprove of President Trump's handling of the economy, marking his lowest approval rating since 2017 during his first term, according to a new survey. The Fox News poll released Wednesday found that 38% approve, while 61% disapprove of Trump's economic policies overall. 76% of respondents had a negative view of the state of the U.S. economy. 76% said they have a negative view of the overall economy of the United States. In July, that number was just 67. Voters largely blamed their dim economic outlook on Trump rather than former President Biden, the survey noted. On the other side, roughly 15% said the president's economic policies have helped the economy. Only 15% think he's helped the economy. And 3 times as many, 46% say Trump's economic policies have hurt them. They said the same about Biden last year, the pollsters added. Plus, approval of how Trump is handling the economy hit a new low. And disapproval of his overall job performance hit record highs among core supporters. When asked which of the last two presidents is responsible for current economic uncertainty amid rising prices and inflation, 62% of registered voters said Trump, while only 32% said Biden. Democrats mostly blamed the president at 81%, but the gap is smaller among Republican GOP voters blame the former president for the current economy at 53%, but 42% said Trump was responsible for the current state of the economy, the data shows. Voters overwhelmingly said economic conditions were only fair or poor at 76%, while 18% said inflation is completely or mostly under control. Trump continues to see widespread support on his overall job performance among Republicans at 86%, but it's down from 92% of support he garnered in March. That's just Republicans. Among the spectrum, 41% of Americans approve of the president's job performance, while 58% are not in favor of how he has handled the presidency in his second term, the survey found. They're starting to realize, like, all the pot of gold he's promised is just never coming. He had the 4 years. He took 4 years off. He's back. We're a year into this. It's not coming
to a normal level, and prices have come down. Well, the Consumer Price Index report for the month of September shows the opposite of what Trump said. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is under Trump's control, says inflation was actually up 3% in September of 2025 when compared to
60% of people, of voters, looking at their own financial situation, said it's not so good or poor. 60% ranking their own financial situation said it's not so good or poor.
September of 2024. For the record, inflation has been trending up the last few months, which means it's going in the wrong direction. But today, the Producer Price Index report revealed inflation is up for producers too. This report tracks the percentage of price increases that producers are paying for goods and services. And if the cost is going up for them in the next few months, the cost is going to go up for you too. Today's report found inflation for producers is up almost 3% from last year. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says the reason why costs are rising for producers is because of energy, which was up dramatically.
Wait, gasoline's up 11.8%? I thought we had the cheapest gas ever.
0.5% in September, mostly because of the nearly 12% increase in the gasoline index and because of the price for food paid by producers.
And this lady this lady doesn't even do political sides. Like, she just states facts. The reason MAGA is always like, oh, that's a leftist, liberal, crazy talking. Our local news station, I'll share something with you. Our local news station shared this Fox News poll, and all they said was a statement from the actual Fox News poll. They said, a majority of Americans disapprove of President Trump's handling of the economy, marking his lowest approval rating since 2017 during his first term, according to a new survey. Now, in the comments of that, someone that I went to school with said this. Now, our local news station, WJHL, didn't write any of that, right? They wrote a statement, and they put, according to this new poll, and it's a Fox News poll. Someone I went to school with said this. WJHL, you're nothing but negativity towards 47 makes me laugh. You should just report the truth, not what leans left or right. Obviously, you lean way left. Still your president. Ha ha. By the way, I live in Northeast Tennessee. There's no way we would have a left-leaning news agency here, right? They would run them out of town, tar and feather and shit. But all they did was say what the poll says. They didn't make the poll. They didn't manipulate the poll. They didn't change the poll. They just repeated what the poll says, and then they said, according to a new survey. Or what the survey says, I guess, not a poll. But still.
which was also up more than 1% in September. The other government report released today is from the Commerce Department, and it tracks retail sales. This report found in the month of September, you, the consumer, started to pull back on your spending. The report found only a 0.2% increase in retail sales between August and September of 2025. Economists were predicting a higher number, and they now say this sort of tiny increase in retail sales shows consumer fatigue, probably because of the higher price.
No, surely not.
The month-over-month slowdown in retail sales really showed up in this report in key categories that are definitely impacted by tariffs, including vehicles, electronics, and clothing. And speaking of what we're all experiencing, the Consumer Confidence Report released today showed your confidence in this economy plummeted between October and November of 2025. In October, the consumer confidence number was 95.5, and in November, it was down to 88.7. That is the lowest number we've seen since April. Coincidentally, April was the exact same month that President Trump announced his sweeping tariffs. So, what is shaking your confidence in this economy right now? According to the report, pretty much everything, both currently and based on what you expect to happen in the next 6 months. More people believe business conditions were bad. Fewer people believe jobs were plentiful. More people believe business conditions would get worse in the next 6 months, and more people believed their incomes would decrease in the next 6 months. So the reality is, when you take all of these things and put them together, including the government's own reports, it is clearly painting a different picture than the one President Trump keeps talking about. So, if you want to read all of these reports for yourself, I'm going to email them out to you in tonight's Backstage Cube email, so make sure you sign yourself up.
We are doing better than we've ever done.
Just fucking insane, isn't it? I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's just, shit's wild right now, guys. Fucking wild. Reality doesn't line up with the claims that are currently happening. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's check out. Here's a skit you can watch while I get ready to show Burt's moving stream. What are we thankful for this Thanksgiving? Think about that question, really. You know, what is everybody thankful for? Let's see what the cabinet's thankful for.
What's everyone grateful for? There's no wrong answers.
Oh, it's hard to say.
There's no wrong answers?
My couch? Wrong. Dang it. The answer is me, JD.
Well, we're all grateful for you, Mr. President, but how about everybody pick what they're second most grateful for? He's scarier in real life.
I'm grateful for immigrants.
That is a surprise to me.
So I can deport them.
I'm grateful for one day closer to end.
Well, I'm grateful to oversee the FBI.
Well, that would explain the confusion.
Meet Gavin and Tanner.
Well, I'm grateful that I've learned which eye to look at when speaking to Cash.
And
crossover, that's right.
Neither. I'm grateful for Americans.
They're stupid. But they had a
He said, hold on. She said, I'm grateful I know which eye to look at when I'm speaking to Cash. And Trump said, which one is it? And she said, neither. Hold on.
I've learned which eye to look at when speaking to Cash.
And which one is it?
Neither. I'm grateful for American safety, my Rolex, jets, government housing, and my instructor.
I'm grateful for unvaccinated raw turkey necks that I can eat without chewing. What?
I'm grateful for Charlie. My sweet Charlie looking up at us, down at us, and for Turning Point and the Vances.
I wish Miller would deport my wife so I could be with Erica.
He's not a genie, and I'm American.
Dang it. Well, I'm grateful for Signal group chats, bombing little boats, and vodka.
I'm grateful for my pension. To walk away from persecution.
What about you, Caroline?
To be working alongside the greatest president in American history. Also for my fight against fake news, woke media, radical left, like against the Washington Post.
And I'm grateful for a woman who stands by me money no matter what's going to be said in some soon-to-be-released files.
To come or day because America is safer since our peacemaker in chief has deported all these people trying to have anchor babies and trap good men with promise, and they overstay their visa 26 years trying to trap us.
Trying to trap us. Trying to trap us. That's right.
My great fellow Americans, earlier today,
there was a shooting of 2 National Guard members, and at first we heard they were dead, then we heard they were critical. It happened in D.C. because they're law enforcement there now, and this is Charlie's response. I'm sorry, this is Trump's response. I was thinking about Charlie Kirk.
My great fellow Americans, earlier today, on the eve of the Thanksgiving holiday, 2 members of the National Guard serving in Washington, D.C., were shot at point-blank range in a monstrous ambush-style attack just steps away from the White House. They had been deputized as part of the most successful public safety and national security mission in the history of our nation's capital, the D.C. Safe and Beautiful Task Force, which has achieved an unprecedented reduction in violent crime and crimes of all type. This heinous assault was an act of evil, an act of hatred, and an act of terror. It was a crime against our entire nation. It was a crime against humanity. The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those 2 members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price. I can report tonight that based on the best available information, the Department of Homeland Security is confident that the suspect in custody is a foreigner who entered our country from Afghanistan, a hellhole on earth. He was flown in by the Biden administration in September 2021.
Wait, your current administration just approved his asylum, though. You're going to say that?
On those infamous flights that everybody was talking about. Nobody knew who was coming in. Nobody knew anything about it. His status was extended under legislation signed by President Biden, a disastrous president, the worst in the history of our country. This attack underscores the single greatest national security threat facing our nation. The last administration let in 20 million unknown and unvetted foreigners from all over the world, from places that you don't want to even know about. No country can tolerate such a risk to our very survival. An example is Minnesota, where hundreds of thousands of Somalians are ripping off our country and ripping apart that once great state. Billions of dollars are lost, and gangs of Somalians come from a country that doesn't even have a government, no laws, no water, no military, no nothing. As their representatives in our country preach to us about our Constitution and how our country is no
Got to make it about everything else, huh?
Good. We're not going to put up with these kind of assaults on law and order by people who shouldn't even be in our country.
It seems like he applied for asylum and under the Trump administration was granted it. CNN reported the suspect applied for asylum in 2024 and was granted it by the Trump administration in April of 2025.
Country. We must now re-examine every single alien who has entered our country from Afghanistan under Biden.
God damn, that lisp is getting so strong with this one.
And we must take all necessary measures to ensure the removal of any alien from any country who does not belong here or add benefit to our country. If they can't love our country, we don't.
Any alien. Any alien. It doesn't matter if you're here legally or not. Any alien. If Trump thinks you don't benefit the country, you're gone.
Want them. America will never bend and never yield in the face of terror. And at the same time,
Terra.
will not be deterred.
Who the fuck is Terra?
From the mission these service members were so nobly fulfilling. That is why tonight I can announce that I have directed the Department of War to mobilize an additional 500
Trump's new scarf
to help protect our capital city. We will make America totally safe again, and we will bring the perpetrator of this barbaric attack to swift and certain justice if the bullets going in the opposite direction haven't already done that. During this time of the year, when we gather at home with loved ones, these two patriots were wearing the uniform of our country, patrolling the streets of our capital.
Like, to use this and to then immediately U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services say that all processing immigration cases from Afghanistan are just stopped because one person who came from Afghanistan committed a crime is just wild, right?
They had taken a selfless oath to defend our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that is exactly what they...
Right. Trump called them there and kept them there, right? They just had a ruling earlier this week, or was it last week, that it was unlawful to have them working as police in the Capitol, and Trump asked for a stay.
Doing when they were gunned down in a savage attack. I want to express my extraordinary gratitude to every member of the United States military who is deployed tonight, at home and abroad. I also want to thank the Secret Service and the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department for their work today. This Thanksgiving, I ask every family to say a prayer for the two great heroes who were so horribly shot, and for their loved ones. Please say a prayer. May God bless them and comfort them, and may God bless and protect the United States of America. Thank you and good night.
Always a reason to capitalize on it. You know what I mean? Like, always. He's got to have a reason to capitalize. He's got to have a reason to call out immigrants. Got to have a reason to justify the moves he makes and the stuff he does. And I don't know. It's just wild. And if you're wondering why it seems like there's a decline in Trump, it's because there's been a significant decline.
This is the hired caregiver that provides 24/7 care to this dementia patient. This is Natalie Harp. Her job title is executive assistant, but really, she makes sure that this dementia patient doesn't wander off somewhere, like the goddamn roof of the White House, for example, hypothetically. I'm a physical therapist with a doctorate in my field and 14 years experience in home health care, treating geriatric patients with dementia, just like the president. Natalie is the one who types up and posts all of his social media posts. He dictates them to her. She filters and interprets and then types them up. And then you bet your ass she shows them to Stephen Miller before she hits post. You can't just have Grandpa saying anything on the internet, can you? He doesn't know the word seditious. She knows that word. That's why it was posted. This is a break from reality. There is no source or data that would support him saying he has the highest poll numbers of his political career. The polar opposite is actually the truth. Why would he post something like this? Because he has frontotemporal dementia. But all the people closest to him need to keep Grandpa around because he's their meal ticket. Grandpa is the one that built this cult, and when he's gone, the cult will fracture. So many people are saying he's going to be worse. That's impossible. He didn't build the cult. And
they don't worship him the same.
Emotional connection to him the same way they do to Grandpa. On top of likely frontotemporal dementia, he probably also has heart failure, chronic kidney disease, and some history of stroke or TIA. I'd say he's got 4 to 6 months left in the land of the living. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Jump scare.
One more before we move on to Burt. Administration officials are just saying the quiet part out loud. When they're talking about potential war with Venezuela, they're just outright saying it's for oil now. Listen to this.
A senior U.S. official said this week that the United States is about to go into Venezuela, quote, for the American oil companies, which, I mean, on the
What? A senior administration official said we're about to go into Venezuela. She says for multiple reasons. What's her number one reason? For U.S. oil companies. I mean, we secretly know that, but they're just saying it.
one hand, kind of appreciate the honesty, I guess. I don't know that this is a great selling point if we're trying to convince the American people that we should be going to war in Venezuela. I mean, even if it's like the 20th reason we're going to do this, then maybe stop at reason 19. I don't know. Something tells me we're going to go to war, we're going to spend money, and we're going to put our sons and daughters' lives at risk for the American oil companies. Probably doesn't exactly land like most people.
No, it's good.
Look,
you got it.
Rather than take my word for it, here is Representative Salazar speaking on Fox Business a couple days ago.
But at the same time, a lot of Americans don't want actual U.S. participation in regime change in Venezuela.
We don't want to do regime change, right? We don't. That's not what we want to do. We're not interested in it. Fuck off.
I'd much prefer the Venezuelans to do it on their own. Do you think the pressure that Maduro has received will force him to leave on his own?
She's a Republican assistant whip.
Oh, I think Maduro is not Fidel Castro. Maduro is not a brave boy. So now that he has understood that he's on that very nefarious list of the terrorist organization, that the airspace above Venezuela has been closed off and the commercial airlines from the United States are not flying, he's understanding that we're about to go in. He understands that he has been our enemy for the last 25 years. Venezuela, for those Americans who do not understand why we need to go in, basically for three reasons.
Three reasons, okay? 3 reasons we got to go to Venezuela. What's number one?
You're in Fox Business. Venezuela, for the American oil companies, will be a field day because it will be more than $1 trillion in economic activity. American companies can go in and fix all the oil pipe, the whole oil rigs and everything that has.
So you expect our kids or grandkids to die because some part of them will have to, like, we're not going to do this and have no injuries, you know what I mean? Like, even if it's just accidents on the way there, to fight a war for American oil companies.
Can go in and
I understand that's often the underlying cause of many of our wars or altercations or whatever the fuck you want to call them. But to say it out loud?
Fix all the oil pipe, the whole oil rigs and everything that has to do with the Venezuelan petroleum companies or anything that has to do with oil and the derivatives.
That was her reason number one. American oil companies will make $1 trillion. All right, let's check in on our buddy Burt. Oh, one sock bandit. Let's see what he's got going on over here. He's been streaming today. He's moving. Here we go. Let's see what he's got.
Okay, this is the first post of the day. I got the apartment. And
all leather, all the time.
Moving. So I'm at the U-Haul place picking up supplies and getting a U-Haul truck.
Not only did he sign a lease, put down a deposit, he rented a truck, he hired a moving company, so somebody's paying some money for him to get out of that eviction notice.
It's going to be a crazy day. I won't be doing a show tonight, but I'll post a few of these, and I will see you guys.
I got the show for you, Burt. I promise there's a big surprise in it for you.
Throughout the day, as I share with you, that's a construction crew going on over here behind me. There was no murder. No one was shot. At least I didn't feel anything hit me. I'll talk to you guys
the
later.
comedian.
Get her done.
Get her done.
First post of the
That's right, Burt. Burt the cable guy. Get her. No, that didn't mean he had a job. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that.
All right. So I guess we're going to try this whole reverse screen thing, which I never do. So it's all backwards to me. It's weird. I guess I got to look up here for the camera.
You still look at the camera, you fucking retard. The camera's not reverse. There's only one camera. You look at the top of your phone. What the I guess when I do forward-facing camera, everything's crazy and backwards. And, oh, is this the camera? Is this it here? Yes, it's same camera.
I will keep you guys informed as much as I can. I've got the U-Haul. I'm headed to the bank to get.
He had to tell him he had a job. How is he showing any fucking income?
Get some money. I'm headed to the place.
And he's got to get this done in a very time-sensitive manner, because if another eviction goes on his credit, he's not going to get a place.
To drop off the cash and get the keys, and then pick up my labor. I got 2 guys that I hired from a great company called Seven Brothers Moving. I've used them several times. They're awesome. I've hired as much as 5 guys at once. This time I'm just hiring 2. We're gonna go get some stuff moved into the new place. I will try and get you guys some pictures. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'll get used to this. This is crazy. I guess I got to hold it like that. Okay. I don't have a selfie stick. I've never done this before. I guess I got to get a selfie stick. So I'm going to go over to the new place and take some pictures of it empty. Then go meet my laborer guys from Seven Brothers. And then we'll get some furniture in there. It's going to be a long day, and then I got to get back over to my place I'm moving out of, pack up the studio, which I'm doing by myself. I'll get you guys some video of that later tonight.
Awesome.
And get the cat packed up. And so the last thing I'm going to do is move the cat into the apartment after everything's in there. I don't want him freaking out on me with all the movers and stuff. So I'm kind of designing the whole move around protecting his little feelings, because
that's the perfect way to do it.
You know, he's little. All right, you guys. Thanks to everybody that's been following. That cares about.
He's out of breath because he buckled his seatbelt.
This and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye. All right.
His new place has a gym though. He's gonna get in shape to whip my ass. I heard. Then we have this photo. Look at that. This statement has nothing to do with the Aeons or the Q movement. But what I'm going to say to you is this: if you know, you know. Now, Burt, you don't think there's a way that someone could look at that key right there and figure out what type of... I don't want to say too much. Never mind. Never mind. If you know, you know. Then we get these images. Let me read it first. It says, I am at home sitting in front of my computer. When I say home, I mean in the weekly rental for one more night. I just couldn't get it all done today. I'm going to have to sit and relax and give myself a break since I have been at this since 4 a.m. this morning. The people I rented the condo from are in Los Angeles, and every time I would send them something they asked for, like shadow shot records or my bank statements or my references, they would turn around and ask for something else. Why can't you just ask for all of it at one time? The process of renting that condo started on Monday of last week. I finally got the key this morning. I had to buy a cashier's check from my bank, made out to them, then take it to their bank and deposit it in their account, which was a little bit worrisome. But I have faith that I was doing the right thing and went with my gut. After I made the deposit, it took an hour and 45 minutes for them to respond and tell me where I could get the key. I'm not going to lie and say I was completely comfortable with that, because I wasn't, and I was starting to think I had been scammed. Finally, they called me and told me where the key could be picked up at 11:30. I was scheduled to meet my moving crew at noon. My blood pressure was as high as a kite. I was running on 3 hours of sleep. Needless to say, I feel every single minute of my age right now. I'd love to talk to you guys, but I have no show prepped, and the only thing I could do is come on and just talk to the people in the chat, and I'm just too tired. Please forgive me. I want to thank everybody for all the nice words and the posts that I've been making today. Here is a picture of the new studio. I have set up the table that I built 2 years ago, and I have completely outfit the room with acoustic treatments that will make it sound incredible, but it's going to take some time. We will work with what we have ASAP and improve it as I go along. I don't plan to be off air for more than a couple days. Here's a picture of the desk I built 2 years ago that is back with me now, and the tiny little bedroom where I managed to get my giant bedroom suite to partially fit in there. Not much room to move around, but I will sleep like a king finally. Shadow will love being back in his original territory. I had this stuff, my chest of drawers, in the closet, but that's okay. And I have to turn the tiny little dining room into a den with a recliner or maybe a love seat where I can sit and watch TV without working. That will come eventually. Right now, my feet hurt so bad that I can barely walk around. Cage match, Burt. I spent 5 hours going up and down the steps all day, and I have to do it all day again tomorrow. My feet are very angry at me right now. They are actually swearing and cussing at me from inside my toes. Words that I've never heard a foot say before. Laugh out loud. God bless you all, and have a great night. I'll keep posting when I can. God bless. Let's check out these images. So we got this desk here, L-shaped desk, right? Couple chairs there, and a sliding glass door. Remember some of these details, okay? Just remember some of these details for later. You know, you never know what might happen. Headboard, right? Nightstands. We got the rails for the bed. Looking good. Looking good. Bed together. Footboard, mattress, everything. Old stomping ground for Shadow, you know. Desk again. Awesome. But now it doesn't have wood on it. That's great. Amazing. Ramp. Storage unit. Good Lord, that looks amazing. You should share more, Burt. And then we're back to the desk. Okay, we got some more stuff going on. Now, what else we got here? As most of you know, Barton is in the process of moving. I know he could definitely use help. I have sent him help and would like to see every one of his friends on this page do the same, no matter how large or small. We are here to support him and his show, and now is the time that he really needs it. You can go to his webpage, burtlynch.com, and see the ways you can help. His email is burt@burtlynch.com. I'm looking forward to him being back on the air at Rumble later this week. Edith Sutton Taylor. She's trying to help out Burt. What are you waiting for? He was so worried that people thought that he wasn't really moving and was just scamming them. But here we go. We've got some mover action. I'm sure glad I had some help yesterday. These guys really do a good job. Seven Brothers Moving Company in Las Vegas.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Why is Burt breathing so goddamn heavy?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Up.
Burt, you realize you're not moving. You're not moving the furniture, right?
Up. 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 1, 2, 3.
Good job, guys. I don't know why Burt's breathing so fucking heavily. What about this? Here's a little more from the loading. And we have a whole full day, more of the same today. And we have a whole full day of more of the same today. Got it.
We have got everything stacked to the ceiling in this place. And Jose is pulling it down for us. And his helper there is Hose B.
What is this?
The guy's asking, like, where's this going? His helper there is Hose B. Ha, 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 ha.
His helper there is Hose B.
What is this?
Is this going with us? Ha, 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 ha. You know those guys fucking hate Burt, dude. They fucking hate him.
To the ceiling in this place. And Jose is pulling it down for us. And his helper there is Hose B.
What is this?
We
What's he say it there at the end? This is organized crap? Is that what he said? Is that what he said? Oh, this is going with us right. Okay. This is going with us right. That makes more sense. Good job, chat. What about this? And so it begins. And so it begins. Here's my desk and a bunch of wires. And so it begins. I guess is him breaking down his desk at the old apartment. That's crazy. Now, I don't know about you guys, but going back and looking at these keys. Okay, I live in Tennessee. Okay, I live in Tennessee. But if I were going to move to Las Vegas, I think I have found the ultimate place that I would move to if I was moving to Las Vegas. Okay, I don't want to influence anybody else's decision, but if I was moving to Las Vegas, and I know Burt's been on this super secretive, I'm never going to let the trolls find out where I'm at, I can't believe it, they could blah, blah, blah. But if I was moving to Las Vegas, if me, personally, Will, if I was moving to Las Vegas, I think I would take a look at 2300 Silverado Ranch Boulevard. I think that's where I would start at. That's where I would start at, okay? Because look, you got a bathroom here. You got this little nook with a sliding glass door that maybe it's a dining room, but you could say, oh, I'm going to set it up like a little den with a chair so I can watch TV when I'm not working, and then your desk could sit right here. You know, if I built a table, if I built a custom L-shaped table, I would put that table right here. Right here is where I would set that table, and then the two chairs would be sitting right here, and I'd get the wood off of them, okay? And that's where I'd set the table. Right there is where I'd make my office. I don't know how you guys would do it, but if I was moving to Las Vegas, this is exactly where I'd put it, okay? Then we just go through the other pictures. Here's as if I was sitting on the other side of that desk. If I was on the other side of that desk, from the sliding glass doors looking in the other direction, right here's where it'd be. It's one bed, one bath, 776 square feet. There's that little door we had stuff leaning up against. I mean, I would have stuff leaning up against if it was me. And then we can go right through the picture. There's the bathroom, right? Shitter, shower. We got everything we need. Bedroom. I would probably put one nightstand here, then my bed, then one nightstand on the other, and I would fill up that whole back wall. I would fill that whole back wall up with bed and nightstand, just like this. I would see how it's nightstand, headboard, nightstand, headboard, nightstand. I would put that right up against this wall, and you see this door right here that goes in the bathroom? Honestly, that'd be this door right here behind my head. You see this door frame right here? That's what I would do. If I was going to move to Las Vegas, this is the place that I would move to. 100%. This is the outside door, and then my movers would be coming up these stairs right here, and they'd be saying 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up, and I'd just be up there on the second floor going just breathing like hell. You know what I mean? But right now I live in Tennessee. Like right there is where I would be standing taking that video. If I was going to take that video. I don't know about you, but you see what I'm saying now? I don't know if this is making sense, chat. But if it was me doing it, and the movers were literally right here beside this piece of, see that fascia piece kind of sticking out there going up the steps? Well, look, there's a fascia piece right there, kind of going up the steps. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 up. You guys remember that? So, I mean, honestly, Burt and I have a similar taste, I think. There's the pool I would use later. There's my laundry room that maybe I would wash my one sock in. I feel like Burt and I, honestly, peas in a pod. Right, there's my kitchen and my office where I'm setting up my streaming computers just over here to the left. Right there, see those sliding glass doors? Look at that. Sliding glass doors, natural lights. Natural lights to let it in, right? Of course, who doesn't need natural light? Maybe this is where I would be. If I was moving to Vegas. I'm not. And if you want the address to this, I feel like you already have it. Burt, I feel like you already have this address. But if you need it, if you need this address, if you need me to give you this address, I can send it to you or Jose or Hose B. Hell, I can send it to Shadow. But I feel like you, personally, I feel like you already have this address. It took less than 24 hours. Now it's kind of becoming like a game, Burt. I don't know. And so it begins. I'm just trying to challenge myself. I'm trying to find a challenge that I can't do, buddy. I am the internet. That's right. Ooga booga booga. Jesus Christ, Burt. You can run. You can hide. I'll send your address to you if you need me to. It was so quick. How was it so quick? How? How is it so? I don't know. It even surprises me, dude. It surprises me, to be honest with you.
Boxes stacked like walls of stone. A half-packed light, a house alone. Shadow paces, tail flicks slow. She feels the change like she just knows. The echoes hum where voices fade. Moving days, a quiet parade. It's hard to breathe when you're the only one. No hand to hold when the packing's done. Bird and shadow just passing through with nobody to love him.
And nothing to do.
And nothing to do.
Fire, buddy. Fire.
The truck is loaded, the driveway's bare. Dusty sunlight fills the air. Shadows perched on the windowsill, watching a world that's standing still. The mailbox leans, its flag long down. This place won't miss him, this empty town.
It's hard to breathe.
Breathe when you're the only one. No hand to hold when the packing's done.
Burt and Shadow. Just passing through. Nobody to love him. And nothing to do.
And nothing to boot.
I'm going to sell this. I'm going to sell this. That's right. This is my new album.
Every turn of choice
he never made. Shadow purrs.
Shadow purrs, but her eyes don't lie. She feels his pain.
Here's his sigh.
Here's his sigh.
That's just heavy breathing, Shadow. You're all right.
Hard to breathe.
Socks in the chat for Burt.
No nothing to do.
My new album, Co-Signer for Life, coming out soon. Don't miss it. Is this the same one? Is it in a different tempo, or is it exactly the same?
Boxes stacked like walls of stone.
It's the same. It's good, but it's the same. Anyways, that's where I'd move if I was moving to Las Vegas. What do you guys think? It's not bad, right? It's Zillow estimates, 192,000. 192,000 for the Zillow estimate. Not a bad place. Maybe I'll look into that. Maybe I'm coming to Silverado Ranch. Yes. Oh my God, what did hold on. Someone said Upchurch. Let's watch his little meltdown right quick. He's been on one today. For sure.
But then I'm here with Bonnie Blue, and guess what? She's here to...
Oh, we can't watch Bonnie Blue on here. This is a family show. Oh, they're all expiring. We might not be able to watch them. He freaks out. What's on this guy's hat? So Ryan is convinced. Hey, you guys ever seen a Ring doorbell Ring doorbell, like recording? Ryan's convinced that somebody broke into his house smelling like diesel fuel and deleted it. It says, from 10:08:03 a.m. to 10:22:58 a.m. today, someone came in my house in Kingston Springs while I was in Ashland City. I caught them this time. Yesterday I didn't, because yesterday they deleted the door Ring camera footage off my device. Gotcha, motherfucker. This was the other day they deleted it. When they deleted it. Okay.
You might be slick, motherfucker, but you ain't slicker than me. Before you walk in my yard,
I'm Slick Willie.
House, you better look at every fucking tree. Yeah, they walked over here. They didn't pull up in my driveway. They walked over here.
Walked.
I got some questions for some people around here, and I already know the answer to the question.
He's trying to blame his childhood friend, Deerdorf.
I wonder if they'll give me the time of day to let me ask them the question. You know what I'm saying? I bet you they won't. Hey, Deerdorf, where'd them fucking cop car looking things go you had?
So he bought a bunch of police interceptor like Explorers at auction and is fixing them up and flipping them or whatever.
Oh, I'm just working on them. I'm a mechanic. I was just working on them. Oh, really?
Look at them pin dots.
I think you're full of shit. You motherfuckers think you can outsmart the government? No.
The government gets outsmarted by criminals all the fucking time, by the way.
Nobody's doing that, but fuck, you can't even outsmart me. We know what praying hands is, dummy. I'm just doing praying.
We know what praying hands is. Now listen, in your mind, before I let Ryan Upchurch go here, if someone sent you an emoji of praying hands, what would you think that symbolized? If someone sent you a praying, Suko likes to use the nose emoji because she thinks it's praying hands. But if someone sent you a legit praying hands emoji, what would you think that symbolized? Prayer or praying for you or thinking of you or praying to God or worship or something? No. Here's what it symbolizes. Prayer. Prayer to God, who is God's son, Jesus. What was Jesus' occupation? A carpenter. What do carpenters do? They build houses. How do you start building a house? With the frame. What does frame mean? Framing someone up for a crime. I shit you not. Watch this.
In hands I found Jesus. Now the underlining meaning, well, what was Jesus? He was a carpenter, right? Okay, so he possibly framed up houses, right? Framed up houses? Well, somebody's been coming in my house, and I've been documenting it, and documented the first time it happened with the Kingston police.
They're trying to frame him up.
I took a picture of the car when I left because I noticed it. And then when I left, I had a camera set up that they didn't know about, obviously. And I had another person watching my house. And then when I got back, I walked in the door, opened it real slow.
Wait till you see the footage he captured of this person. Wait till you see it.
And guess what? I could smell diesel fuel. Funny thing.
Wait. You're sniffing the air when you...
I took a picture of the car.
No fucking way do you come in real slow and sniff the air.
When I left, because I noticed it. And then when I left, I had a camera set up that they didn't know about, obviously. And I had another person watching my house. And then when I got back, I walked in the door, opened it real slow, and went... And guess what? I could smell diesel fuel. Funny thing is...
That's how the best criminals are caught.
I don't own a diesel. Besides the blue truck, but that's nowhere around here. And I haven't drove it in a long time. Somebody who owns a diesel came in my house. And I know who it was. Stupid motherfuckers keep doing it. This is the third time. The third time, and every time we go through my entire house and see what objects stick out that are now in.
So, I want to set the scenario for you. So Ryan, his mom or his baby mama, and his brand new baby come home. Ryan is like, whoa, let me go in first. He opens the door, big sniff, diesel fuel. You know what that means? They strap the baby back in the car. And they come back to the front door and they each spread out in different areas of the house to see if anything's different. Anything different, they catalog it and put it in a Ziploc bag.
In the house that don't make any sense. Well, you got to file a police report. No, not in this situation. In this situation, I'm filing my police report right here. If only you knew. I'll tell you one thing. I'm too goddamn fat for a...
There it is. They found a holster that he forgot he owned. It's an appendix style, or it could even be, it's inside the belt style holster.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm too goddamn fat for a...
Ryan Upchurch thinks he's talking directly to Donald Trump Jr.
Fucking appendix carry, that's for sure. Also, there is a certain group of people in Ashland City.
The reason that he's no longer reporting it to the police is, frankly, because they got tired of him and his bullshit. But he's convinced himself that Donald Trump Jr. is watching his videos and relaying them to his dad and us.
Specifically 5 people that I've been watching really closely. And when these situations happen, well, these people's regular, consistent way they act, just on those days, are inconsistent as fuck. Every time. Don't worry. The guys that need to know who they are. And what else was I going to say that was fucking funny? You know, I find it funny, Dingledorfin. You over here in Ashland City saying, man, the cops are in on a man, it's the cops' fault. Well, you're the one who just bought a bunch of cop cars, so, I mean, that looks kind of fucking suspicious. See, because here's the thing. Here's what a lot of folks don't understand, and a lot of folks do understand. Remember the day when I was like, we're everywhere, and we're nowhere. And you could never find us even if you wanted to. I'm not talking about the criminal side. I'm talking about the good guy side. That's why you're seeing a bunch of sketchy motherfuckers move the way they do. I'm still moving the same way. I'm still fucking doing what I want to. Going to Walmart, Going to the electronics section, looking at the new headphones. Still going to Miss Lucille's. What else? Still going to my favorite coffee shop in Bellevue. And nothing's happening to me. But there's a lot of motherfuckers that's moving real fucking weird. Now, remember, a couple months ago, what'd they all say and what they all start doing? I'm doing business. I'm starting a business. Right. Are you all doing business?
It's part of their their grounding, right? It's their breathing technique they use to ground themselves. It's called wheezing.
Or are you all trying to frame businesses that are already businesses that make money 100% legally? And do y'all have it multifaceted to hide y'all stuff underneath other people's LLCs and businesses without them knowing? Because you know who can see everything y'all done?
Who?
Here come the man in black. I hope you better shave that little ass crack because you're going to prison. You know, Donald Trump Jr. said one thing to me.
Right, this is very important. Donald Trump Jr. said one thing to me.
One time, ever. Only one thing.
It says, very, very important part of this. Donald Trump Jr., it was that guy. Sonny Bama, what happened to my real Instagram?
He said, hey, you want to go fishing? I said, what kind of fishing? Whoop. The message disappeared. Now watch this. Sonny Bama, tell me about this Instagram. Where'd it go? Don't say you don't know what I'm talking about. Don't say that. I need y'all to tell me what happened to the Instagram. Okay.
This guy's a producer.
Jesus, they're terrified of the Trump administration. They're terrified. As I'm sitting here, tagging Don Jr. in something, the door ring camera comes on. Oh, fuck, that's hilarious. Well, guess what, buddy? Don, tell them there's nowhere they can go.
Sonny Bama owns the command shift, the people that keep copyright striking my channel.
Tell them, bro, the good guys know when your ass hair is long.
Tell him, Don. Did you hear him? Tell him, Don. Tell him, Donald Trump Jr.
Terrified of the Trump administration. They're terrified. As I'm sitting here, tagging Don Jr. in something.
It's like an Instagram filter thing, A. Barry.
Camera comes on.
Listen, tell him, Don.
Oh, fuck, that's hilarious. Well, guess what, buddy? Don, tell them there's nowhere they can go. Tell them, bro, the good guys know when your ass hair is long via ways with things. They know how much you piss a day. Tell them, Don, tell them. They know everything. Why are you scared?
This must have been why Weil and Taylor Accounting and Brandon Luce wouldn't give me the passwords to my merch site. So this is upchurchmerch.com, and no one owns it, right? It's just setting for sale right now. It's just parked, basically. Tell them, Don. Tell them. Tell them about their ass hair, Don. It says, we might be able to help you get it. Broker service fee. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Somebody owns it. It's just parked. It doesn't direct anything. It's probably his asset, to be honest with you. He just doesn't know how to access it. There's all the other websites you can get. upchurchmerch.art.ai. whatever. right, here it is. Here's the footage he got. So that's his baby mama leaving and him and their kid. There you go. Leaving.
Yes, sir.
You're not going to believe who he caught on camera here.
Okay. Now watch this.
That's right, A-Berry. All right, now watch.
Watch when I leave. And
okay.
The time right here.
All right. He left at like 10:09 or something. This is 10:22, 11:22, 12:17. He shows back up. Did you see who he captured? Nobody. He didn't capture anybody. There's no one on camera. From the time he leaves until he comes back home, there's no one on camera.
You see what happened, don't you? Somebody who has like one of those little fire stick things, I'm guessing.
Somebody who has one of those little flash stick things, I'm guessing. Does he mean the thing from Men in Black? Makes you like forget shit?
So look, they come in the house. Or no, that's me leaving. 10:22 must have been when they come in the house. 11:22.
11:22 what? That's all we get from him. All right, I want to show you one more thing. This is his friend Deerdorf, and this part's actually sad. Deerdorf tried one more time to reach out to Ryan and tell him to get help. This is his friend since childhood, always been his best friend. Finally parted ways from him because Ryan was getting so crazy with the paranoia, and it's got to be drug-induced, or maybe it's a mental health crisis. Either way, he needs help.
Fuckers of Instagram.
Let's see if I can find the right one.
All right, guys. Waiting on the.
This is it.
Oh, fuck. You know, last night, I wasn't even going to talk about it, but last night I did one last fucking attempt to tell.
He left one comment last time.
My former best friend that I looked at like a brother to fucking get some help, man. He don't even deserve that from me, but I fucking did it. Whatever. You know, I had to at least try one last time. So I commented on there. What does he do? He sees it and he laughs and makes jokes. That's cool. Whatever. Yeah. I didn't have to do that. I don't really owe it to you or none of that shit. You know? I felt silly after I fucking posted it. Because the shit that this dude has done, he tried to put me in jail for, you're saying I got all this fucked up shit, meth labs, and fucking do all this malice shit, shooting folks. Didn't know that to you at all. But it's the type of person I am. You know, I got other friends I never gave up on and got them talked out of the shit they were in. You know, now they're fucking doing good. Hell, one motherfucker's married. Hell, I married him.
He's talking about other friends, you know, that struggled or whatever. He never gave up on them, and, you know, eventually they came back around, but he just can't do that. Like, Ryan's has accused him of murder and setting him up and meth labs and drug dealer and all kinds of shit.
He's doing great.
It's sad, honestly.
So
Ryan needs help.
That was it. I will not speak on none of this anymore. I will not crack a joke. I will not do nothing. Because now this motherfucker, instead of that helping him, the dumb son of a bitch is on here smelling the air, saying he smells diesel fuel, trying to insinuate that I broke into his house or some shit. I'm done, dog. I'm done. From now on, you'll just hear from my fucking lawyer. And that's it. I'm going to continue and do what I do and live my fucking life. Just remember, you chose this.
So, yes, he needs help. But he's gotta want it for himself. You know what I mean? Like, no one can do it for him. But that's all I can say. I don't know. Hopefully Ryan gets help. Something's got to break eventually, right? Either he's going to snap, or the people around him are going to snap, or he's going to end up, his family doesn't want to be around him and lose contact with his kid. That would be awful. You know what I mean? Like, but right now, all he wants to do is keep doing what he's doing, where he calls and cusses people out and accuses them of some type of conspiracy to take him down with Nashville and Jelly Roll and Luke Bryan and whoever the fuck. It's just bad right now. Let's play. I don't want to really end on that one, so let's see. I'll play that one the next time we do Ryan. Here's kind of a funny true story. Let's try this one. This actually happened. I was reading about it the other day. It's called two guys named Gavin and Tanner were just recently arrested.
Meet Gavin and Tanner. They're stupid, but they had a big plan. You see, their plan was to travel to the Gonave Island in Haiti. All the men on the island then take the women and children as slaves, where they would then force the women and children to watch Netflix with them. If you don't know what that means, look in the comments. Now, if all that sounds insane to you, it gets worse, because it's the actual plan that these two came up with that's the scary part. You see, sometime last year, they meet up. They say, look, we still finna take over that island. Tanner said, you know I'm always ready. How we gonna do it? We're gonna go in military style. Gavin said, that's smart. You ever been to the military? Tanner said, I guess I haven't. So Tanner joins the Air Force and Gavin joins a firefighter academy so they can gain some skills to take over the island. Tanner in the Air Force, busting his ass. He said, man, this is tough. Let me see how Gavin doing. Ring, ring, ring. Gavin said, yep. Tanner said, okay, how's the firefighter training going? Gavin said, firefighter training? Oh, I flunked out. Remember, they stupid. He said, they was trying to make me learn and all that. Tanner said, ooh, I almost said something. Gavin said, cool your jets, Tanner, because I got a plan. Look, I'm finna go to Thailand and learn how to sail boats, because to take over the island, we got to get to the island, and we don't know how to sail. So Gavin flies over to Thailand. He says, hey, y'all, I'm trying to learn how to sail one of these. One of the folks out in Thailand said, yeah, we can teach you. Look, this is how much it's going to cost. Gavin said, cost? Oh, I'm broke. They said, oh, why don't you just Google how much it costs for us to teach you? We got websites. Gavin said, I should have done that. They say, yeah. Yep. But you can swim around the water, though. That's free. Now, it's at this point the two men decided to take a step back because they realized they were in over their heads. Psych, stupid. You not listening. They dumb. They said, we'll figure out the boat stuff and the training stuff later. Let's move on to phase 2, recruiting soldiers. And by recruiting soldiers, I mean going to Washington, D.C. and asking homeless people to join them. In fact, Tanner requests to be stationed in Maryland so he can be close to Washington, D.C. so he can consistently try to recruit homeless people. The homeless people in Washington, D.C. were like, nah, we're not going to do that. Gavin and Tanner said, y'all want to think on it? And they said, nah. And it was at this point, Gavin and Tanner looked at each other and said, let's keep going. So they start writing battle plans. They start texting each other plans saying, all right, we're going to go here, we're going to go there. They start texting each other terrible things they're going to do to the Haitian women. And it was at this point they get a knock on their door. Do, do, do. Gavin and Tanner said, who that? They said, it's the FBI. Gavin and Tanner said, y'all trying to join us? The FBI said, not really, but you going to jail though. Gavin and Tanner said, all right, we coming out. You see, the FBI had been watching them for months. We don't know exactly how they got caught yet, but that information is probably going to come out in the future. And well, these pictures you've been looking at this whole time are their mugshots. Gavin and Tanner said, how many years we facing? The FBI said, you're not facing like any years exactly, you're just facing your whole lives. Gavin and Tanner said, hey, but we didn't actually take over the island. We didn't do nothing. The FBI said, and you were never going to take over the island. You know how many people live on
They thought they were going to take over an Haitian island.
Gavin
and they've been planning it for years.
40? FBI said 87,000. Gavin and Tanner said, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. So now Gavin and Tanner both face life in prison for conspiracy to people in another country. Side note, they also face another 15 to 30 years for producing a video in which, let's just say, they're doing Epstein activities. Now, technically, these are all charges, so all of this is alleged, but they were texting about their plans back and forth for like a whole year. And they were being watched really closely by the FBI, so it's probably going to be life for Dumb and Dumber.
How insane, dude. How fucking insane. 80,000. They were gonna recruit homeless people from DC and build an army and sail to this island and try to take it over. I don't know what else to say. All right, guys. Consider supporting the show. There's a link if you want to do it. It is here. The Just Quick Tools link, and then you just click on either you can use PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or Dono Clip. Dono Clip, you get to record an audio or video message I play on the show. Buy Me a Coffee, you get to type out a message that I do on the show. And PayPal, you can be anonymous if you want to, if you don't want me to put it on the show. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You guys have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. And then I'll see you when I see you. I probably obviously won't be live tomorrow. I don't think. If I do, it'll be something short, maybe even from my phone, just to hang out and see what you guys are doing late, like after everybody's done with Thanksgiving in a turkey coma. But I'll be back when I'm back. Thank you guys for joining us. Consider supporting the show so I can pay some bills around here. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here and joining me. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to moving to Vegas or even trying to move to Vegas, but that's where I'd move if I was going to move to Vegas. You guys have a good night. We'll see you about the next one. Love you. See you. Bye.
But I can tell you this about if this douchebag happens to see
How many of y'all are staying up late cooking shit, I guess?
the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet.
And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit.
Where my true believer?
Y'all need Jesus.
Praise the Lord, head to the extreme.
All these false fucking...
We go to Cracker Barrel. I honestly think that might be good for a lot of people. Just go, get it done, be done with it, right?
Hammers like four in a thong. He's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'm gonna make your...
No one has to stress or be worried about anything. Just knock it out, be done with it.
People, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk.
Not a bad idea.
Best climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers.
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
I don't know. It doesn't feel like the holiday since my family, since my mom and dad passed away. That was my mom's thing. She was real big on Thanksgiving and Christmas. She tried to cancel Christmas one time when I was deployed overseas. Wouldn't let anybody have it. But I mean, I go with Mariah, just whatever, but I usually just sit outside, play around on my phone. I can't get into it. So
Put on a light coat of baby oil and saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder and said, "This is gonna be it." Whoa, wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files. Wait, what are you doing? Stop. Hold on. Fucking stop. Dude, come on. Seriously.
yeah, I'm not a big Cracker Barrel person, but I think we went one year. We were all out of town and busy or something, so we all met at what is it, Golden Corral buffet, and it was all right. It was just really, really, really busy. I didn't realize that many people went out like that to eat, but.
You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Round 3.
Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so. Got him backed up on the ropes, trying to ram it down his throat. Now things are getting rocking. He was doing so well.
It's all over. Hands on his shoulders, they ringing his bell.
You got Frog News Network doing no damn research. They rework and copy on cocks that came first. 9th inning, second string, and they acting like they know hitters. Assholes throwing bullshit, sending runs to the shitter. All this nonsense on my conscience, it's hard to sleep at night. Who the fuck is in my window with this time of the night? These parasites, these leeches, with all their secret meetings, teaching all you fucking cretins about baby-eating heathens. Believing in reason with no meaning is bullshit. Will Burt motherfuckers out here busting the grifts.
Here we go, I think I started some shit. Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go.
Good night, guys.
Listen off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the best, you know.
It was good. It was so busy. I panicked like that, but everybody else seemed to enjoy it.
guts, because you're a pussy.
Have a good night.